Hello, I'm Joshua Clockman. This is my Ftt100 Introduction to Firearms Week 8 final project. Part 1 of this project, description of the firearm. It is a Springfield Armory XD9 Mod 2 subcompact. I purchased it in late 2018, early 2019. And when I did my research, they said it was manufactured sometime in 2017. It is a striker fire, magazine fed 9mm firearm. Tilt the camera down just a little bit so we can get into the rest of this. Part 2 is asking for an explanation in the action type, including a description of the cycle of operations. All right, before we go over the cycle of operations, we're going to verify that this firearm is safe. Starting with dropping the magazine, no rounds in there. Verifying visually, physically, that our chamber is empty. Now that we've verified that this firearm is clear and safe of all live ammunition, we're going to go over the cycle of operations. To start, there'd be a round in the magazine, still clear and safe. From there, a round from the magazine would get fed from this back plate here. A little bit of evidence of dirt already. From the back plate, it would push the round into the chamber. And from there, it would lock into place. After that, we have our striker hammer back here that lets us know that this firearm is cocked. We're still pointed in a safe direction. No rounds in the firearm. Second would be firing the weapon. And from there, we would release the trigger. Now, once you fired it, the gases would push the firearm back. That's where you heard the cocking, a little early in the steps. But it cocked, and from there, there is an ejector pin. The pin, and it forces it out. And then from there, the springs would allow the firearm to go back forward, thus completing the cycle of operations. Part 3, a description of the field stripped firearm, explaining which major systems are used, separating the stripping process. All right, field strip, Springfield 9 XD. XD9, my apologies. I'm going to release the magazine just because it's going to be easier for me. Pull the firearm back into the lock position. Set this up to the 12 o'clock position. Release the firearm until it gets into the barrier state. Firearm is still clear and safe and in a safe direction. Ooh, I have to get it right there. Depress the trigger. Slides right out. And from there, we have our frame and our slide. Those are the two major components when field stripping. The frame itself in the field stripping process, this is complete. Now for the slide, we're going to release our double spring and our barrel up, in, and out, and voila, we have a field stripped Springfield XD. Part 4, the cleaning process we used, including my preferred cleaning solutions. Before dirt evidence, cleaning the firearm, cleaning the barrel, and after. So before, we already got a little bit of dirt and stuff on our finger there just from taking it apart. Still well oiled from before. A little bit more there. Get a paper towel for this part. Make our evidence a little more clear before I get too into it. And this is just on the back plate here. Oh yeah, plenty dirty there. Go over to our frame. Get us to a nice clean spot. If I'm willing to bet, because you always miss something. A little bit of evidence of dirt there, not too visible. Spring should be fairly clean. I need to do a better job of lubricating this on this one. Yep, that's still pretty clean. Barrel kind of dirty. I did a good job cleaning that, and I haven't had a chance to fire it, but it is my daily carry. So, gets a lot of the normal. Oh, no, still got a little bit of dirt in there. All right, so that was our before evidence cleaning there. And now we're gonna go over the process of cleaning. Now, my preferred cleaning solutions, I'm gonna go with what the Sonoran Desert Institute sent me for the carbon destroyer and the oil, just because I want to try them out. I don't think my stuff was perfect before. It was just stuff that I could use. I used Birchwood Casey gun scrubber. Not the best stuff, but it is an aerosol. I do believe with the aerosol, I can get into those tighter places a little bit better. I don't think I'm gonna need to use this today. I'm just gonna use the carbon destroyer again. But the aerosol stuff is what I prefer when cleaning my guns, just because I feel like it gets in there better, kind of like cleaning a keyboard. If you just wipe it, it's not the same as actually spraying into it. And then for lubrication, I always use Lucas gun oil. Just what somebody else recommended to me. So I've had it forever. You see the bottle's almost empty because I do lubricate a lot of stuff all the time, more than I do cleaning, which I should do more often. So, but here we are. For starters, we are going to take our carbon destroyer. Well, for the upper, like in the striker area in here, I am going to spray a little bit in there. Get my trusty straw out for that one. And because you know how much I like to spray, we're going to protect our mat a little bit and put down a nice little base coat for us, just to lay everything out on. And then for the frame rails and stuff, probably spray in there in the spring and back here in the spring as well. A little bit better visual. That's just where I'll spray for this cleaning process. Now for the scrubbing part, I will use the carbon destroyer because I believe this is better, just as an aerosol. Mindful of where you're squirting. Here. Oh, that's my problem right there. Not the best stuff, but it works. Gloves would be recommended. Protecting yourself is always a key important component with anything that you're doing. And then from there, don't use that one. Try this out a little. More evidence of dirt. And from there, take our carbon destroyer. A couple of things. If you run out of these, toothbrushes from the Dollar Tree work just as good. Yeah, definitely see in there. Still dirty. But it can always be from not getting 100% for the week 7 project. I know it's only been a week, but I do carry it. Just the residual stuff hanging around. Can't always get everything. Would have been a lot better if I got to go shooting with it, but frame rail is really good. If you are going to clean it and focus on anything, I recommend, now I could be wrong with this, but I recommend getting the parts that move the most. A little bit more on that back plate, around the striker area. There we go. A little bit of drying. Like that on top a little. Next, I'm going to move over to the frame. We'll save the best two for last. Slide that down so we can get behind it. Mag wells. Oh, well, as expected, those were dirty. Just because of how much I carry this thing. Oh yeah. Dirty. Most of our carbon's gone. I don't know how long I'll be able to see it. Yeah, I can kind of see it in the reflection there. Most of that carbon's gone in there. Yeah, right along the top. Most of it. Good to go on that one. Now, between last week and this week, I did notice that the lubrication points in the guidebook for cleaning your firearm, this is the only, for the polymer pistols, only to lubricate the four walls on the frame. They didn't say anything about the slide, which I get it. This will be lubed, and anything contact with that, it'll work. What I didn't think about was I have a double spring, where it's a spring inside a spring. Would I want to lubricate this as well? If it was just one string by itself, I could see why you wouldn't want to, but since I have the double, I am going to put a little bit of lube on that this go around. And we'll see how much better it performs that way. This guy down pretty good. Oh yeah. Destroyer up in here. Next, run our wire brush through. Yes. Get the dirt off of this one. We'll try. No, nothing really. Fairly clean barrel. 3.3 inch, subcompact. A little wide for most people's taste for daily carrying, but I prefer it. The more rounds, the better, in my opinion. A little bit of dirt in there. Now I will run cleaning pad through it. Still pretty dirty on there. Nothing too perfect. But that's all right. Give her another go around. Flip it inside out. Clean this sure side. Run it back through. Ooh, that didn't work. Ah, much better. More of like a light gray versus the dark and chunky. A couple more times doing that, we should be good to go. Pretty clear on my end. Take my word for it. Now, get our spring up and going. Bless my father. He's got some crazy stories and crazy ideas. The dishwashing story did come from him. I can't believe it. I can see why. And then he called and asked and said, why don't we just use an ultrasonic bath and get the right solution for it and just drop our parts in there? Now, Dr. Tim Morrison, my instructor, do plan on sending you a message to ask you about that. Probably when I submit this assignment here in a little bit. But it is a good question. Yeah, you can see the dirt in there. Give another paper towel. I've scrubbed it a little bit, so bear with me. It's not going to be perfect. A little holy. You can kind of see a little bit of dirt on there. Haven't had a chance to fire it. I was planning on the frame and the slide being dirty, the barrel having a little bit just because it goes in and out of like where I can seal it at. So it was gonna have a little bit of dirt in there, a little more than expected since we did clean it. But even again, if I do this again next week, I'll find more dirt. That's how it always goes. All right, from there, do a little bit of lubrication. I'm actually going to lube the spring once it's on the slide, just because I want to see if that makes a little bit of a difference. A little bit of oil around. No such thing as too much. That's what I always say. Don't quote me on it. All right, from here, first things first, drop a barrel in. Next, drop the slide in. The only reason I want to do it first, I kind of want to let gravity do a little bit of its thing. So I'm not just going around in circles, ruining pretty much the whole process. All right, flip our position back to 12. Did have it on paper towel, but we're still good. And we will slide it right back in. Lock to the rear, forward. Firearm still clear and safe. No magazine. Oh yeah. Get a couple good slides, get everything mixing around, moving in there. A little bit of excess. Don't need it too much. From there, wipe down the magazine. This will be fairly dirty, can already tell you. Make sure you catch it. To press the little button here, push it in, slides all apart. One more clean paper towel for you. And too terribly dirty. I didn't give it a really good scrub down in the last one. I am going to spray this one just because it's a little bit easier. Maybe I should have chosen a different magazine for this one. Real good evidence of dirt on that one. Like a narrow right. Inside the magazine looks pretty clean. Oh, there's the dirt. Yeah, just a little bit. It's all good. And then we will reassemble. See if we can get this right the first time. Yep. This guy right down. Got him a little bit backwards there. It's all right. Pin goes back up. All you do is push that down, slide it forward, and that's how you release it. And we are good to go. Chamber's still clear. Magazine's empty. And there you have it. Cleaned, preferred, and ready to go. Before and after. Thank you.